before, so we'll have to see what it's like, see if it's any good. Go ahead and come up with a name here. Just go with some fantasy bullshit. Yeah, why not? So, it's one of those click type games. Usually to start off we gotta at least get some basics. We usually want to cut down some wood at the very least. And then once we have some, looks like we need some skins too, which can be found from harvesting food. So that'll let us build our first couple wood huts, which will allow us to grab some farmers to start with. I want to start with farmers because we need this food production going. That's pretty important. Go ahead and update Twitch channel information real quick. Yeah, so I usually want to start off with some basic resources like wood, and we'll have to click a little bit at the beginning. Once we get some built up, we won't actually have to continue to do that. You know, that's why these are known as idle clicker games, or just idle games, because once you get it going, there's a little bit of waiting around. I mean, you can speed it up somewhat by doing some of the clicking yourself, but I found this game the other day at work. I really liked it. You have a certain amount of land that starts to get taken up by your buildings, and at some point we'll have to actually have an army so that we can start taking out some other people's land and claim some for our people so we don't get overcrowded. You'll notice we want woodcutters and miners and all the other citizens, but it drops down our food production because they are a citizen that's not making food, of course. And so the way around that's going to be basically upgrades that will let the farms produce more, but we're not going to get that right away. So there's a good bit of manual clicking if you want to speed this along in the beginning, which is okay. It really doesn't take too long overall. This is just getting us started. Yeah, once we get this built up a little, mostly at first we're focusing on how much food per second we're having produced. So right now when people are content, we want them to be happy or blissful. It'll take a little while to build up to that. Right now they're just a thorp, which is even smaller than, you know, villages. We're just not quite there yet. So for now I'm going to keep adding farmers and a few woodcutters and miners as I'm able to. Throw some more tents out here. So Can add a few miners, and we just want to keep an eye on that food production. You see how it dropped down there? So I really need to take a miner away and add another farmer. We just got to keep that positive, so that we're not draining food, not bleeding food while we're sitting here. And sometimes we'll get these offers for someone wanting to trade. In the beginning, there's really no way we're going to be able to meet any of those requirements. So I pretty much ignore them until we're up, because it'll always be something like 600 skins or 60,000 stone, and we're not going to be anywhere near that just yet, which is okay. We're just not there. So the main thing right now is keeping our food. We're going to keep our food production positive, and we're going to cut down as much wood as we can and help harvest some food, because that'll increase the rate at which we're getting these skins. And we need skins right now to build our huts, and that's going to let us have a higher population. So I'm going to build some more huts. Each one of those is giving us 3 to our max pop. I'm going to add a good bit more farmers. Yeah, so that's just where we are right now. And you can see this is going per second, but they're going to be pretty slow right now. I really want to add a couple woodcutters to speed that up. And the miners struggle a little bit. You can see I have 2 of each, but you can see the wood cutting is obviously easier than mining for rock. So that's an interesting algorithm and dynamic they put in there. So right now the food's kind of just breaking even, so we'll add some more farmers. It's not horrible to be breaking even right at the beginning. It's just that later on, we do start losing people occasionally. Some wolves will come in, and until we have soldiers to protect from that, we don't really want to be at the bare minimum level of food production, because we're gonna lose people here and there. So what I'm going to do is we can have more upgrades. So we're going to add, this is going to let farmers collect more skins, woodcutters are going to collect more herbs, and this will unlock some more buildings. And here's the upgrades that we actually want right here, is these 2. So we need to get 20 leather and 20 metal. And that'll let us increase the food output, which greatly increases the rate at which this game will progress. So to get metal and leather, we actually need tanneries and smithies. So I'm going to build a tannery. And then we'll need, to help this along, if we want to grab a smithy real quick. And then we'll need enough people to add on. So we're going to add... They don't let us recruit new citizens as tanners and blacksmith, it looks like, which is interesting. Oh, we may not have enough room right now. We'll build a couple cottages. And it looks like we have to do a couple idle citizens first, so that we have any to use for tanners and blacksmith. So I'm going to give a tanner. We'll add a couple farmers so that we can add a few more idle citizens and even that out. Hard to keep everyone happy here. Okay, so we've got a tanner and a blacksmith. Blacksmiths are going to be drawing off the ores, and then tanners are going to be using the skins. So you can see we're not producing as many ore as we're using. So you might want to add a couple more miners to try to even that out. They only find an ore or skin like per every 50 or so that are harvested, which is interesting. So you see we've got our leather popping up now. We've got some metal going. We're not getting enough leather, which means we probably need more skins. Oh, well, obviously we need tanners too. So we're gonna do that. We're getting about a half a second. And how many we need? We need 20 of each. Which isn't, oh, we're already there. So we're gonna do both of those, and that'll increase our farmer output, and that'll actually let us add some other things here. Yeah, so we usually need a little more on the miners than we do. So of course this is an idle game. You know, some of it is waiting. Once it gets going, it's pretty fun though. It starts becoming a little more intensive and a little more real-time strategy rather than just clicky click click click. You can see our food output goes down per second the more people we're having to support who are not farmers. So 500 wood and 200 stone will give us more food output, which is really what we want to focus on in the beginning. So to get 500 wood, I'm going to have to actually add some wood stockpiles so that we have enough room. And then we want this to build up to 500, so that'll take just a second. already, so we should be able to hit those upgrades. Irrigation, that helps a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and build some of our other things, like apothecary, maybe a temple, barracks. Barracks are going to let us add soldiers. Temples are going to let us add clerics, which will help with our piety. And they'll bury corpses for us as well once we get some graveyards. And then healers are going to, of course, help if our people get sick, which I've seen mostly happen from overpopulation. Doing kind of a rapid click here to speed things up. And I definitely want to build some more barns so we have more room for our food. More cottages for people to live in. And we're going to add some more farmers. It's okay to have this surplus now and then. See, we're going to start having things like this, like farmer was eaten by wolves. Now we're a village, so we're attracting things like that. And so what we want to do here is we need some soldiers to help protect. They're going to need leather, and they're going to need metal, which we have. So we need to take a couple of farmers away. Let's see if we can get away with 10. Yeah. And then we're going to start adding some of these back as soldiers. We don't need too many for a village. You know, we've only got a max of, or how many do we have right now? We've got 93 people. You know, 5 or 6 soldiers is probably good right now, just to hang out and help protect from the wolves. And they'll actually start attacking the wolves back, which is nice. So we start adding some more farmers. So when we rapidly click, we are finding some skins. It's not happening very often, but we'll have upgrades later on that'll give us more of those as well. Because the leather is just not increasing very quick, and neither is the metal, which is unfortunate. Think with the number of farmers we have that we would be getting more skins. So we can start stockpiling a lot of food right now, and if we build these barns, you can see our max for our food storage is increasing, which is nice. And so we're just racking that up right now. We've upgraded to a small town, so we might want to make sure we have enough soldiers. We have to add some more of those. I'm not really sure why the skins aren't triggering very well right now. I know they will if I rapid click myself, but that should really be happening from the farmers already. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Same with the ore, that should be being found already. Very odd. See, with that large food production we can get away with a little more of this. Get some more soldiers, etc. So we can add some woodcutters and miners and maybe actually start getting some skins and ore regularly. Looks like we could go ahead and build stables, which will give us, we'll be able to do cavalries, have cavalries once we build a couple stables. Yeah, see, there you go, that added that on. I really got to figure out about the miners and the farmers. I don't know why we're not getting enough skins and ore like we should be. So I just saw some ore. I think that's the thing, is like we just don't have enough. You know, it's about every 50 or so that's harvested, it seems like they're getting skins or ore. So that's much harder for the miners, but the farmers should really have that. Kind of watching the leather and the skins to see if we're getting any at all even. Yeah, so that is increasing, so it is happening, just not as quick as we would think it would be. The thing is, if you don't have a surplus of ore or skins, you really don't need more tanners or smithies, because they're obviously able to handle the small amount that's coming through. I wish we didn't have such a small amount coming through, but all I can do is increase the farmers and see if we get more skins or what's happened. Try to see what's happening here. Yeah, I see the leather going up when we do that, so I guess that's the thing, you just need a huge amount of miners and farmers to get any of that done. The mills are nice. Their requirements increase each time, but they're going to improve our farmers every time we build those. And it needs stone and wood, so if we could increase those, that would be great. Let's see, so the next time we need 300, and just on and on like that. But it increases our farm output, which means we need less farmers to achieve what we were achieving previously, which is always nice. So we can free up some farmers at that point and use them for other things like mining or wood cutting. And really, I'm going to leave this up in the background, but we'll probably just have to check back in on a later stream, because this does take a while. Of course, it is a idle type clicker. So that is to be expected.